Hola, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Transfer Tango, where we talk about the dance that is Arsenal transfer news. Um, Before we start, remember to like, subscribe, and if you like the videos, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, drop them below in the comment section. All right, so let's talk about transfers. It's the second day of the second window, and Arsenal have signed absolutely no one. In fact, I think we are no closer to signing a striker than we were in January, no closer to signing a striker than we were last summer window. The debate that's going on as it continues is Gyökeres versus Sesko. Gyökeres versus Sesko. It seems we have reports that Berta likes getting deals down to the final stages before choosing one, which is fine. But then you have reports that say, oh, we've frozen the deal on Gyökeres because Sporting want 80 million euros, which is 68 million pounds. 68 million pounds for the most informed striker in Europe. Arsenal can't pay that. But don't worry, guys. We paid 65 million for Kai Havertz from Chelsea. Made him the highest earner at our club. But the guy who scored 50 goals, nah, it's too much money. It's too much. 68? Oof, no. Can't have that. Oh, but then you get other reports for Sesko that say, oh, RB Leipzig want 75 to 80 million pounds. And Arsenal's still in that deal. So we're going to pay 75, 80 million pounds for a guy who scored 13 goals and say, nah, I don't want that guy who scored 50 goals because he's too old. He's 28. I don't know if you guys remember, but Aubameyang was 28 when we signed him. And he won our last trophy. Single-handedly, almost. At 28 years old. But we don't want Gyökeres at 68 million because he's too old. Doesn't fit the project. Doesn't fit the system. Crazy. Another thing, you know what I thought about, guys? Do you guys remember in January when we were linked with a certain striker? What was his name? Isak. All of the news outlets were saying in the summer, Isak is the #1 target. Arsenal aren't getting anyone because we're going for Isak in the summer. How much have we been linked to Isak in the summer window? I ain't heard a thing about Isak in the summer window. Not a thing. Where did the links go? I think it was just paper talk, as usual, right? But you know who resurfaced from January? Oh, Ollie Watkins. Our favorite striker, Ollie Watkins. The news outlets say if we don't get Gyökeres or Sesko, it's going to be Ollie. And to be honest, I think Ollie is probably going to be the safer bet. Not for us fans, but for the club. He's been in the Prem. He runs around like a headless chicken. Perfect for how we want to play. And he won't upset the apple cart. I just think that it's frustrating as an Arsenal fan when the answer is staring you right in the face. It's staring the club right in the face. Just go and get Gyökeres. If he doesn't work out, no one can blame the manager for getting a guy who scored 50 goals. But Sesko, if he doesn't work out, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be toxic, to be honest, if he doesn't work out. But if he's a striker, I'll back him. But if he doesn't work out, the manager's going to be on thin ice, especially if we're going to pay 75 million pounds for him. And then where does that leave Kai Havertz? Because you can't buy a guy for 75 million pounds and then put Havertz on the bench. You can't put your highest earner on the bench. But you just got a guy who paid 75 million, who cost 75 million pounds. And this is why I think Ollie Watkins, I think we'll probably end up getting Ollie Watkins for 40, 45. He'll be a rotation player with Kai Havertz, and it'll be the same old song from the same old hymn sheet. Another thing that I'm thinking about is Zubimendi. Now, everyone's saying the Zubimendi deal is done. If the Zubimendi deal is done, then I expect on July 1st, because that's what they told us. They said on July 1st, we're waiting for July 1st to announce the Zubimendi deal. July 1st, I expect to see Zubimendi in an Arsenal kit. I don't want any, we're waiting on the paperwork, we got to fax it, none of that. July 1st, when I wake up in the morning and I go to work and it's about 10 o'clock, I want to see Zubimendi has signed for Arsenal. That's what I want to see. If that doesn't happen, then I think I'm going to be massively annoyed, and I'm not the only fan that's going to be massively annoyed. Lastly, on the transfer of Tango, what's going on with Kepa? What's going on? £5 million. Can we not scrounge up £5 million? Is Kepa who everyone wants? Probably not. But is he who we're gonna get? Probably. Why haven't we just given him the £5 million? What are we waiting on? Are we waiting on the new league year for that one as well? £5 million. Arsenal can't pay £5 million to Chelsea. It's a release clause. You don't have to haggle. Just give him £5 million and let Kepa come this way. Frustrating how we do business. It's always slow. It's kind of embarrassing. I mean, we look at the Nico Williams thing. Apparently, he doesn't want to come here. And this is the thing that Arsenal do that annoy me so much. Me as a fan, I don't work for the club. I don't know. I'm not in the boardroom. I could have told you in January. I could have told you last year that Nico Williams does not want to come to England. He don't want to come here. His brother didn't want to come here. Those guys who usually play for Bilbao, they don't want to leave. They want to stay in. If they do leave Bilbao, they stay in Spain. They don't want to leave Spain, right? They look at Barcelona. They look at Real Madrid. Every now and then they'll leave and you get some good guys. But usually they stay in Spain. And then once they've stayed in Spain, if they do decide to leave, they'll go somewhere else. But the guy wants Barcelona. We know he wants to stay in Spain. He stayed in Spain last time. He wants to stay in Spain. Why do we keep chasing him? Arsenal continue to do this. We did the same thing with Vlahovic. We knew Vlahovic wanted to go to Juventus. Everyone knew that. I knew he didn't want to leave Italy. But we're going after Vlahovic. We're doing this for Vlahovic. He's our number one target, knowing that we have no chance to get him. And what did we end up getting? We didn't get Vlahovic. We ended up getting Raheem Sterling. That's what we got last summer, Raheem Sterling. We're linked to Bellotti. Who we get? We get guys like Kai Havertz. I won't let Arsenal do this to me anymore. I won't let them. I knew that guy doesn't want to come here. Right? And I think the Rodrigo thing is sounding very similar. Like, everyone's, we should go get... I mean, I heard somewhere, I don't know where I heard it, but that, other teams are looking at Rodrigo. But I just feel like Arsenal do this thing where we're linked to players that we know we're not going to get, that aren't interested in coming here, and we continue to be like, please, please, please. And if they do come here, we end up paying them a stupid amount of wages. I mean, Kai Havertz, on the money he is criminal. Whoever signed Kai Havertz to that deal should be investigated, to be honest, because he gets paid a lot of money to not be a prolific striker, to be honest, or prolific midfielder. But yeah, that's where we are with transfers. I'm gonna drop a video tomorrow because the schedule comes out, and I can't say that I am particularly excited for the schedule because we haven't got anybody in. Even if we had signed Zubimendi, I'd be like, man, he's not the most exciting signing. But we made a signing before the schedule comes out. All right, the fans are amped. You know who we did sign? The merch man, because we dropped merch again. Merchsignal strikes again, right? Another training range in blue, right? It's in blue. When are we gonna get a training range in one of these? When are we getting this back? Not the bruised banana, but I can't remember the last yellow shirt we had. It's been a while. Like, when are we getting that stuff back? Why do they keep selling me, merch in blues and hues of Tottenham colors? Like, I don't want that. I don't want that merch. I want red merch. Like, I'm an Arsenal fan. I don't want the red merch. But not to get off topic, but I mean, that's what we're talking about. I'm talking about everything except for transfers because we don't have any. We haven't made a single signing. I don't feel like we're close to making a signing. And yeah, I mean, the schedule's going to drop. We're probably going preseason before we make a signing. So I'll just be making these videos talking about random waffle. Anyway, that's been Transfer Tango. I'll see you later on in the week. We'll do this dance again.